Hey guys, Coach Mike here, and this time I've got a great question for you from Ron from Whitestone, New York. He recently wrote into the website and he asked, "Dear Coach Mike, my son has just started off-season training for high school football, and they've got him doing a lot of 45-degree leg presses and Smith machine squats to build up his lower body. Now call me old school, but I've always felt that free weights were more effective. What are your thoughts?" Well, Ron, I'm not only going to call you old school, I'm going to call you absolutely right. Because you can definitely count me amongst those who are not big fans of machine-based training for young athletes. And that's largely because, with a few exceptions, machines just don't allow us to move in the three-dimensional plane, which is how we use our bodies during both activities of daily living and sports participation. Now, especially when you're talking about young athletes, when you're training on machines, you're just not going to build a lot in the way of balance, stabilization, coordination, and these are the kinds of things that young athletes need in droves. So this is another big reason to stay away from machines. Now, I realize that free weights often get a bad rep as being inherently dangerous to young athletes. But if you look at the research, almost all of the injuries that you've seen kids incur as a result of free weight training have been due to improper technique, too much load, or a combination of the two. When free weight exercises are done under the watchful eye of a qualified strength and conditioning specialist, it's one of the most effective, safe ways that young athletes can train. Because let's look at the two machines that you're talking about in particular, the 45-degree leg press and the Smith machine squat. They're often deemed as being really safe. But when you look at that 45-degree leg press, the fact that you can just load those plates up on there and all you have to do is push the weight up and down on that sled, it just invites the opportunity for young athletes to put on too much load. And I've seen all kinds of things from kids' knees pinching in together and lower backs rounding at the bottom of the position, so they're exposing the spinal discs to injury. So there you have a quote-unquote safe exercise where a lot can go wrong in a hurry. As for the Smith machine squat, that's where you're inside of the squat rack and the bar is traveling along that set path where you can just take it on and off the hooks. Yes, once again, looks safe. The problem is squatting is not a linear movement for the human body. It may look like that bar is just going straight up and down, but we actually move in a series of arcs. So there's a slight arcing motion to that bar. So when you force your body to conform to the linear movement of a Smith machine, you're not using it the way it was intended to be used. And what you typically will get is reduced recruitment from the glutes and the hamstrings and a lot more shearing force on that knee joint. So just a couple of reasons why you want to stay away from Smith machine squats and 45-degree leg presses and pretty much machines in general. Unless it's done on free motion cable type devices or Kaiser machines which work on pneumatic resistance, all of which allow you to work in that three-dimensional plane, young athletes are much better suited first learning movements with their own body weight, then adding external resistance in the form of medicine balls, dumbbells, and ultimately barbells, and I think you'll see they'll get much better results. That does it for this time, but don't forget, keep those questions coming in because next time I might be answering yours. I'll see you next time.